It's better late than never on Fog Football as Russell Martin is officially announced as Rangers manager. Now we are about 4.5 to 5 hours late on this one, but who expected an 8 a.m. announcement? No one did. I penciled in the Greg Taylor to pack video 9 a.m. thinking if Rangers are going to announce Russell Martin, it'll probably be about 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, because that was about similar time to when the takeover got announced. But no, no. Rangers do it their own way. They do it at 8 a.m. They basically put it out last night and then they essentially confirm it this morning. They know this is a very unsettling appointment. A lot of fans aren't happy, but you know what? I'm not saying I'll never address the appointment of Martin again because I'm literally in the middle of a video doing that. But I'm going to back the guy. Um, I'm going to back him until I can't back him. Every game, behind the team as always. But there's no point from here until we lose the first game bashing the guy. There ain't. We've got to get behind him now. You can still have your doubts and still this, but there's no point being overly negative. And not everyone won't be. Everyone will eventually. It'll die down. We'll make a few signings. Pre-season will start. We'll play Club Brugge. We'll play Middlesbrough. We'll play whatever other games are scheduled on the horizon. Then Champions League qualifiers, and then we'll see what happens. But that's the first hurdle. Been saying this for months. Champions League qualifiers, guys. But Russell Martin's style of play, it's not suited to Europe. And to me, I think that's the worrying thing. Because we're talking about the 49ers coming in. They know this club is a good way, a great way, an easier way to get Champions League football than it is across most leagues in Europe because we're basically a guaranteed second every year, at least second that is. But they're siding a guy that won't be never even managed in Europe before. I mean, we are given the keys to a guy that's never managed in Europe and therefore never won a game in Europe. He's never even played a game in Europe. This guy has done nothing in Europe. It's just a very weird appointment, in my opinion. I've seen a lot of people, ex Rangers, not even ex Rangers, just pundits across the board saying it's a fantastic appointment. There'll be fids on that later on. I don't agree with that personally. Don't know where they're getting that. Are they just doing it to numb their own pain? Potentially. But this guy's managed over 250 games for MK Dons, Swansea, and Southampton. Never really won anything. He got promotion with Southampton. Is that a trophy? Who knows? But in terms of other things, right, with Russell Martin, we'll dive in the comments in the press conference because I was live earlier. I already read out the presser that they announced when he got unveiled. But this is the press conference where they all sat down and he signed on the dotted line about an hour ago. So this is what he had to say. And I quote, at every level, I get questioned. There are some names in football management, they're always a bit more exciting than others, of course. But I feel like after 5.5 years of being a manager, coach, a leader, I love doing it. I'm going to be all in here, bringing my energy, my love for it, and passion, and hopefully that will reflect on the pitch and people will see that. At some point, they'll enjoy it, and hopefully, I'm sure if our team is winning, they'll be happy. End of quote. Well, he's bringing his passion, he's bringing his energy, he's bringing his love for the game and all that stuff. Make no mistake, this is a no-brainer for Russell Martin. Swansea, MK Dons, Southampton, to Rangers. He will never manage a bigger club. Even even if Russell Martin is mightily successful at Rangers, he will not manage a bigger club. So it's all or nothing for the guy, really. What will happen to Russell Martin if he gets sacked for Rangers? I mean, I wouldn't say it's end game. I mean, that's me talking about him getting sacked, but it's a time for him to finally be at a club that's capable of doing something. Because no disrespect to Southampton and Swansea, but the state of the Premier League and the Championship, it's like, what can those clubs really do? They get promoted and then they're just destined to go back down. Now, there's clubs that have came up and stayed up, and like Bournemouth and Brentford, who are more like top 10 sides now, so it can be done. Just proves that you need the correct manager and circumstances to go your way. But as for Russell Martin, it's a massive opportunity for him to actually add to his resume because there's not much there. Add to his win percentage, and win trophies, European football. I mean, Champions. We're not even talking like Conference League. We're talking Champions League qualifiers, man. The doubters could be put to bed if Russell Martin gets us into the Champions League and starts winning games of football in the league and taking it to Celtic. But on the flip side, if we crash out of the Champions League and we're 7 points behind Celtic come October, questions are going to be rightfully asked. No two ways about it. They're going to have to be asked. But anyway, that's where we're going to leave it. I'm sick of talking about Russell Martin. Any more fids, it's going to be pundits, Chris Boyd, etc. reacting. Might do Rangers fans react, but we'll see how that ends up, guys. But Russell Martin, 3-year deal. Will he win anything? Who knows?